It was on this street, 22 years ago, that Douglas Sidiale was driving to work. He was just outside the American embassy, here in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. Then it was attacked, first with grenades and then a truck bomb.
That's when the huge blast went. From that day, I have never seen light of day again. I became blind.
Douglas was one of thousands who suffered horrific injuries. Like him, many had their faces cut and lost their eyesight because of flying shards of glass. Now there's a memorial park where the American embassy once stood. The names of the people who were killed are engraved on stones inside. The embassy building was at the front. It was damaged in the attack, but the building behind was completely destroyed with many people inside. Most of those who were injured or killed in the attack were Kenyans who just happened to be nearby at the time. The US embassy in neighbouring Tanzania was bombed at the same time. Al-qaeda claimed responsibility for both attacks. The US accused Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir of supporting the group and enabling the attacks. Sudan was already on America's list of state sponsors of terror since 1993. Bashir was eventually overthrown following popular protests last year. Sudan's new government desperately needs reprieve from American economic sanctions. It's negotiated terms for its removal from the terror list with US President Donald Trump. The agreement includes compensation for employees of the US government who were killed and injured in the attacks.
I was in that building at the background.
But nothing for people like Ali Mwadama. He was working in a bank across the road from the Nairobi embassy when it was bombed. He says he was lucky to survive a shrapnel wound in his neck. He chairs an association of hundreds of others who were injured, many of them so severely they could never work again.
If the Sudan, they have agreed to compensation to give that to other people like America and whatever. So now if they leave us as an African country, then that is wrong actually.
Are we lesser human beings than Americans? Why is it that the American president can go and negotiate for their own people and does not want to negotiate for all those victims who are affected by the bombing?
Douglas and Ali have spent the last 20 years campaigning for compensation. Under the new agreement between the governments of the US and Sudan, they're no closer to getting it. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, Nairobi, Kenya.